My Rotary friends, my Rotary family from across the globe, it is always the greatest of joys to be with you. Whether we're connecting online, having lunch together in our clubs, collaborating on a service project, but most of all, it is so good to come together at an international convention, reviewing important friendships and greeting each other with wide eyes, with open hearts, and with big Rotary hugs. Every convention is about you, the people who love this organization so much that you take the time to be together, to learn from each other, and to experience something unforgettable. That is why, when it came time to plan a convention around you, we wanted to have an opening session that felt like a celebration. I hope you take that spirit away from this room and share it across Singapore this week, because I believe we can all do with an injection of hope and enthusiasm at this time, especially with so many dark skies around us. And before I begin, I want to give a special thanks to the district governors who this year have been such wonderful partners in our efforts to create hope in the world. Could all of the 2023-24 governors in attendance please rise? My friends, thank you all for your service, and thank you for leading us in such challenging times. All of us know that peace has been on the minds of the world this past year, and it remains at the forefront of Rotary's mission. What a thrill it was to be joined by Graça Machel this morning and to hear her inspiring stories about building peace in the world. Her optimism in these difficult times was an important thing for us all to hear. It brought to mind for me the timeless words of our beloved Scottish poet Robert Burns, who wrote, "For all that and all that, it's coming yet for all that man to man the world o'er shall brothers be for all that." These words speak of our common humanity and our shared desire to build a more peaceful and compassionate world, especially in the times of greatest peril. World peace is a perilous, difficult journey, and we're experiencing some trying moments right now. The troubles of the world affect us deeply because we have friends and sometimes family and neighbors experiencing the heartbreak of destruction and loss. But we are an example of what a better world could be, one where people find common ground across their divides and common purpose in elevating humanity. Through our service projects, our humanitarian efforts, and our systemic approach to peace building and conflict resolution, we can be catalysts for positive change in this world. Peace building isn't about stopping wars. I'm sure all of us would love to have the power to walk into the war zones of the world and say, "Stop this war." Sadly, we don't have that power. But I do believe that we have the power to stop wars and conflicts from starting through building peace from the ground level up, by preventing and treating disease, by improving water, sanitation and hygiene, by improving maternal and child health, and by basic education and literacy, by community economic development, and by sustaining our environment. We are so fortunate to have a strategic partnership with the highly respected Institute for Economics and Peace to help us in our mission to create a more peaceful world. I would encourage you to look into how this can help you on your personal journey towards positive peace. When we talk about these high-level ways of building peace, it's important also not to forget the individuals for whom we improve lives and for whom we create a more peaceful and hopeful future. I have been so fortunate to meet hundreds, maybe thousands of such individuals in the past year. Let me introduce just 3 of them to you at this stage. We'll start with Kevin. Kevin is 16 years of age and lives in Buenos Aires. And when we met him last November during a visit to Argentina, we discovered that Kevin can neither hear nor speak. But he is being educated at the Scola Diana, a school which for many years has been funded by Rotary. Through his sign language interpreter, Kevin told us that he hoped to graduate from school this summer and go on to college to become a motor mechanic. His teachers confirmed that this was very likely to happen. And so, Kevin, thank you to Rotary. Thank you to each and every one of you. We'll have the chance of a more hopeful and a more peaceful future. The second of the individuals I'd like to introduce you to is Daphne. Daphne is 16 and lives in Zimbabwe. But we met Daphne in Chandigarh, India in January, when we visited the Fortis Hospital, which for many years has been the location of a project spearheaded by the Rotary Club of Chandigarh, providing life-saving surgeries to young people suffering from congenital heart defects. Daphne had her surgery the day after we met her and has now returned home to Zimbabwe to live a normal, a happy, and an achieving life. Daphne was the 777th patient to benefit from that program. The 777th patient whose life has been saved. The 777th patient who, thanks to Rotary, thanks to each and every one of you, will have the chance of a more hopeful and peaceful future. The third individual I would like to introduce you to is Precious. Precious is 1 year old. And I met her when we visited Lilongwe in Malawi. I met her and her mother at a family health day facilitated by the amazing Rotary Action Group for Family Health and AIDS Prevention. I had the privilege of vaccinating Precious against polio. And in my mind's eye, I can still see those 2 precious drops falling into her mouth. I can also see the look of sheer gratitude in Precious's mother's eyes as she realized that her daughter would be spared the risk of contracting that crippling disease. Yet another example of where Rotary, where you give individuals the chance of a more hopeful and peaceful future. Our commitment to peace and to the individuals we serve places a priority on equipping ourselves and our communities and change makers with the tools to address these issues while treating each other with decency and honouring our shared humanity. Likewise, we won't improve mental health and well-being by ending all human sorrow, pain, or loneliness. Challenges are an inevitable part of life, but we can fight the stigma against reaching out for help. We can make a difference for the people we serve by investing in the tools, the people, the institutions, and the systems that will ensure access to quality, affordable care. And we can do so much more for each other by making our clubs warm, welcoming environments where we care for and actively listen to one another and ensure that every member feels like they belong. Over the last 12 months, Rotary has begun to work to erase the stigma associated with discussions of emotional well-being, raise awareness of mental health needs, and improve access to mental health services. We have made significant progress over the past year, but there is still so much more to do. Tomorrow's session will highlight some of the incredible projects underway in the Rotary world, showcasing the innovative ways in which we are addressing the mental health needs of communities and setting standards for future progress and all our areas of focus. But let us also remember that this work cannot be completed in a mere 12 months, or even 1 year more. It will require us to make a long-term commitment, not just to treat the symptoms of poor mental well-being, but to address the underlying systemic issues that perpetuate stigma and prevent people from accessing the care and the support they need. As you probably already know, this issue is deeply personal for me. A little over 10 years ago, my brother Ian lost a long-term struggle with depression that he silently battled alone. His torment with this terrible disease consumed him and ultimately took his life. And for me and the others who loved him, his loss left us asking, why? What did we miss? What more could we have done? I shared Ian's story not to gain your sympathy, but simply to share my experience that struggles with mental health can affect anyone, including a beloved younger brother with a fine career and a loving, deeply caring family. I have been so moved over the past year and a half by everyone in the Rotary world who has shared similar experiences within their own families. My friends, mental health is a personal and family struggle for so many in this world. But it is also something more. It is a global challenge that affects everything we do. It knows no boundaries of age, of gender, or of race or nationality. And yet, for far too long, even discussing it has led to stigma and shame and silence. But in Rotary, we will not look the other way. You cannot show care and compassion with silence and excuses. We show it when we stand up, when we speak out, and when we take action. And this is just what we have done. From a village in the Philippines that recently opened a new health and wellness clinic for mothers after their community members took the brave leap to come together and start an informal network of peer-to-peer support groups, to clubs in Colorado in the US, building an endowment fund to ensure mental health professionals receive the right education to serve youth across the state. The clubs around the world taking the time to show care and compassion for one another. Rotary members all over the globe have risen to this challenge. So let us embrace this opportunity with gratitude. Let us embrace it with enthusiasm, and let us embrace it with a renewed sense of purpose. Let us celebrate the incredible work that we have accomplished together, and let us look forward to the countless possibilities that lie ahead. Thank you, my friends, for your unwavering dedication, for your boundless generosity and your tireless commitment to the ideals of Rotary. May this international convention be a time of inspiration, a time of connection, and a time of transformation. And may we leave here even more determined than ever to be the change that we wish to see in this world. Thank you very much.